Derrick Broze with the Conscious Resistance Network, and I just got a quick breaking news video that I have to do, interrupting my evening to share this with you. If you haven't heard, Jeffrey Epstein has been arrested this evening in New York City. Jeffrey Epstein, of course, we've been covering his case for a while. I think he deserves no introduction, and if you have no idea who I'm talking about, then you need to go back and watch all of our other videos. We just reported yesterday that a court had ordered the release of 2,000 pages of Epstein documents in an ongoing case, a separate case. And now just today, it was originally reported by the Daily Beast, then picked up by the New York Times, the Miami Herald, and elsewhere. Jeffrey Epstein arrested for sex trafficking of minors and will appear in court in New York on Monday to be charged with sex trafficking, according to multiple law enforcement sources. This is huge news. I know everybody's, I know that I literally jumped out of my chair for a moment whenever I saw this. As somebody who's been following the case for several years, and we put out our documentary last November, October. I went to Jeffrey Epstein's Florida house last summer and saw it for myself and recorded a video out there. It feels like pretty big news. We of course will wait to see what really comes of this, because you guys know Jeffrey Epstein is connected to Alan Dershowitz, to Donald Trump, to Bill Clinton, to Kevin Spacey, to Prince Andrew, to a lot of powerful people. And that's what we were talking about in this case, about the court documents, that the court documents are going to show quite a bit in a separate case. It's totally separate, quite a bit about who Jeffrey Epstein is and who he's connected to. Now, apparently, in the Southern District of New York, the arrest took place by the FBI and NYPD Crimes Against Child Task Force. Comes 12 years after the 66-year-old financier was given a sweetheart deal. And he's under arrest for allegedly trafficking dozens of minors in New York and Florida between 2002 and 2005, and will appear in court on Monday, as I said. So he's escaped any attempt to bring him to justice so far, but now, according to a new indictment, which, according to two sources who told the Daily Beast, will be unsealed Monday in Manhattan Federal Court. So that's going to be really interesting to see that unsealed indictment, to see exactly what they said. It will reportedly allege that Epstein sexually exploited dozens of underage girls in a now familiar scheme, paying them for cash for massages, and in molesting or sexually abusing them in his Upper East Side New York mansion or in his residence in Palm Beach, Florida. He'll be charged with one count of sex trafficking of minors and one count of conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking minors, which could put him away for a maximum of 45 years. But even that, if that's true, only one count of sex trafficking, one count of conspiracy, when we know that there have been victims in the 50s and possibly more than hundreds of girls that have been involved in this. So hopefully that is not the case. It's being handled by the Public Corruption Unit of the Southern District of New York, with assistance from the district's human trafficking officials and the FBI. I'm not going to rehash the story, because you guys know Epstein's attorney, Martin Weinberg, declined to comment when reached by the Daily Beast. The Southern District of New York also declined to comment. Attorney David Boies, who's representing Epstein accuser Virginia Roberts Giuffre and Sarah Ransom, who are in this other case that we talked about with the documents being released, their attorney said, "It's been a long time coming, too long coming. It's an important step towards getting justice for many victims of Epstein's sex trafficking enterprise. We hope that prosecutors will not stop with Epstein, because there were many other people who participated with him and made this sex trafficking possible." So we'll continue to keep our eye on this. You can learn more about this. Of course, we know that Epstein is a mysterious guy, because he's got all this money and nobody really knows where exactly he got his money. It was supposedly as working for Bear Stearns in the financial sector, but then he was also connected to Leslie Wexner of Victoria's Secret, who gave him his mansion in New York City. He's got some connections that some say tie him to the Israeli Mossad, and some do believe this whole thing was a honeypot in order for the intelligence agencies to gather data on other people. At this point, most of this is speculation and is hearsay and based on what we can put together. But with these new court documents coming out, with Jeffrey Epstein being arrested, and who knows if he's going to make bail. I mean, I imagine if he makes bail, then he's a flight risk. He's got a private island. He's apparently building another private island, so maybe they won't give him a bail. But I think it's going to be interesting for us to keep our eyes and ears on this case, because Epstein, as you know, is connected to so many powerful people that it would be such a shame if they put Epstein in some prison and he got killed by some other inmate or something along those lines, where the truth never surfaced, which is a potential, and this is being reported by the Miami Herald, of course, by Julie K. Brown. And Julie, I met her in Florida when I went to Florida to go cover Jeffrey Epstein's trial. And that was back in December. And I told her, hey, I appreciate your reporting. You may remember the Miami Herald did a 3-part investigation about Jeffrey Epstein. And that came out about a month after, if not more than a month after, our documentary Bringing Down Jeffrey Epstein. And then all the mainstream media got on it. Now, I'm not saying I'm the only one that's been reporting on it. Our documentary has been seen 300,000 times plus. I've been talking about this since 2017. Other people have been talking about it since it happened back in 2005, 2008. But definitely people have been talking about it much longer than the Miami Herald. And it really just drives me crazy that when you go here on Twitter and you look up Epstein and you look at the hashtag and you just look up people talking about it, there's a lot of people who give credit to the Miami Herald and basically says that it's the Miami Herald's investigation that finally cracked open the case and helped, lead to the arrest. And at the end of the day, right, who really cares, right? If the arrest happened and this horrible person goes to prison, then that's a good thing, right? But I mean, I think it's a shame and it's annoying that the mainstream can just step into the ring and then all of a sudden get all the credit when those of us in the independent media have been talking about this for quite some time. And so I'm out here tweeting my frustration to people, for anybody who cares about this. But I just think that it's important to note that while the mainstream gets to step into the arena and get credited for doing all this work, many of you out there have been sharing articles, sharing my videos, and telling people there's this guy named Jeffrey Epstein. He's connected to the Clintons. He's connected to the Trumps. He's connected to powerful people. Why aren't they arresting him? Why did Trump put Alexander Acosta, the lawyer who helped Epstein get this deal, why did he put him in the position of being labor secretary? These are important questions that we got to ask. And hopefully this whole thing won't just be a sham trial. Hopefully Epstein won't get killed until he can talk. Hopefully Epstein gets charged with more than just one single count of sex trafficking, because there's apparently dozens and dozens, maybe hundreds of women. This needs to be more than just one count. And again, all the Jill Zane Maxwell and all the other people who are out there, the women who helped him recruit people, the lawyers who defended him, and people like Alan Dershowitz who've been accused of being directly involved with this. These people need to be exposed. So why would the powers that wish they were, the powers that be, let Epstein get arrested? Maybe they're ready to cut him loose. Maybe Epstein is ready to spill the beans. I don't know. It's all speculation at this point. I don't really want to get into that. I'll let you guys speculate the whys and the hows and whatnot. All we know is that Jeffrey Epstein is sitting in jail right now, as far as we know, if we're to trust the media, in New York City, and he will be there until at least Monday, when they either give him a bail, bond out, or he is allowed to just sit there in jail. Yeah, we'll have to see. But for the moment, this is what we know. Jeffrey Epstein is in jail. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's shared my work, who has helped me reach people. I'm just one piece of the puzzle, obviously. The Miami Herald did do some good work. I'm not saying they didn't do good work, but it's frustrating, as I say in this tweet, to see them getting all the credit for breaking the story or for the arrest when indie media and alternative media have been talking about this for years. And, we've been waking people up to this. So shout out to everybody who cared about this, who put the information out there, and who got in front of your friends and said, look, maybe you don't believe in things like Pizzagate, or you don't believe in things like, that there is a pedophile ring running the nation. But look into the story of Jeffrey Epstein, because it's so much corruption. It's so obvious. And because of all of our efforts, there's now been a groundswell and they can't ignore it. And Jeffrey Epstein now is going to prison. Hopefully. He's been arrested at least. He will be charged. So let's take it step by step, right? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Justice won't be served until Epstein is in prison and until everybody that he has been working with has been exposed and also charged and also arrested. And that includes high-level politicians, Prince Andrew, and others who are accused of these things. All these accusations should now actually get their day in court to be considered, to be investigated, and to let the victims come forward and testify against Jeffrey Epstein. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. Please share this video out far and wide. Break the good news to your friends. Celebrate. Have a good night tonight, and enjoy the fact that one less criminal is on the street, and not just any criminal, but a criminal connected to lots of powerful people. And let's pray and hope that justice will be served. Until next time, remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, and you are free. Peace.